Commissioners Clark and Doyle, we're just about to start the meeting. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:04 PM. This hearing is about an application SN 01-24 submitted by Coburg Community Charter School for a conditional sign permit. The applicable approval criteria and standards that apply are found on the Coburg sign ordinance A-155 and Coburg Official Zoning Code ORD A-200-L. Under never mind, I stand corrected. We'll call the meeting to order. Roll call. Present. All those present, please say your last name. Jerry Bain, present. And Bell.
John Marshall. John Lehman.
Marissa Doyle.
Seth Clark.
For the agenda this evening, we have a public comment area, 5-minute limit unless extended time is approved prior to the meeting. Are there any people signed up for public comment?
No, no one is signed up.
Next on the agenda would be the approval of the minutes from July 17th, 2024, which should have been sent out prior to this meeting to all the participants. Is there a motion to adopt or change, amend the minutes from July?
Make the motion to approve the minutes.
I would entertain a second. Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All those with comments or discussion? So approved. The commission business for this evening is the public hearing, which I've talked about already in error. In addition to all the said ordinances that have been recorded. All right, we are opening the hearing now. Applicable approval criteria and standards that apply are found in Coburg Sign Ordinance A-155, Coburg Official Zoning Code ORD A-200-L. Also under Ordinance A-155, Section 6, Residential District, and Section 35, Conditional Sign Permit. And in addition, Ordinance A-200-L, Article X or 10, Section D, Type 3 procedure. All testimony and evidence shall concern the approval criteria described in the staff report, which we have, and other criteria in the comprehensive plan or land use regulations that the person testifying believes to apply to this decision. Failure to raise an issue with sufficient detail to give the hearings body and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue means that no appeal may be made later to the State Land Use Board of Appeals on that issue. Also, there is the concept of ex parte contact. Members of the Planning Commission shall not communicate directly or indirectly with any applicant, appellant, or other party to these proceedings or a representative of a party about any issue involved in a hearing without given notice. Communication between the city staff and the Planning Commission is not considered ex parte. Do any of the commissioners present tonight wish to disclose ex parte contact? That is a no. Staff presentation, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Just a quick bit of background on this application. Several months ago, representatives from the Coburg Community Charter School submitted building permit application for a new freestanding sign. Can be processed as a type 1 administrative approval, similar to a building permit, as long as they are in conformance with the sign ordinance A155. The sign proposal that the school submitted was larger than what is allowed in the traditional residential district, which is where the school is located. So the applicant was made aware and came in for a pre-application meeting and has led to the conditional sign permit process. So as I mentioned, the subject property is zoned traditional residential and contains a comprehensive plan designation of traditional residential. The property is owned by the 4J School District and is currently leased by the Coburg Community Charter School. The property has frontage on North Coburg Road. North Coburg Road is not owned by the city of Coburg, but is in Lane County jurisdiction. And staff have verified with Lane County Transportation Planning staff that this proposed sign meets vision clearance requirements of the county and is not located within the public right of way. The applicant is requesting a conditional sign permit to allow a freestanding sign that will replace an existing non-conforming sign on the subject property. The proposed sign dimension is 8 feet, 10 inches wide and 10 feet tall and is not illuminated. The proposed non-illuminated sign is categorized as an institutional sign under exempt signs and exceeds the size limitation of 32 square feet in area and 6 feet in height for signs in the residential district. Proposed sign is 84.6 square feet in area and 10 feet in height, slightly smaller than the existing non-conforming freestanding sign. A conditional sign permit to allow for a sign that does not meet the requirements of Ordinance A155 is subject to Planning Commission approval and the impetus for this application. The proposed sign is a replacement of an existing non-conforming sign and conforms with the policies and intent of the Coburg Comprehensive Plan and Zoning Code. The location of the proposed sign in relation to the site are compatible with the surroundings and arrangement. The proposed sign will provide for better identification of the school and dissemination of its information. Staff recommends the conditional sign permit application be approved based on the findings and conclusions contained in the staff report. No conditions of approval are recommended, but may be made by the Planning Commission based on Section 35 of Ordinance A155. Planning Commission has 3 options, which are shown on the screen in front of you. Planning Commission may make a motion to approve the request based on the staff report and findings, may make a motion to deny the request based off findings to be prepared for denial, or the third is to make a motion to approve with amending finding or additional conditions of approval based on Section 35, as I previously mentioned. Are there any questions on the presentation?
I have a question. I noticed there was advertising on the sign. Does that come into play at all in the decision?
We don't regulate content. Content is not regulated.
Where is the exact location of this sign going to be?
There's a site map located in the staff report packet. It is just south of the driveway near the fire district property.
And where is the present sign, the same location?
The same location. It will be in the same location as the existing sign.
Another question? I don't know who I direct the question to, you, Megan, or Chair?
Your role is as an observer, so why don't you direct it to me?
Okay. How's the signs differ from murals in terms of advertising?
I have no answer. Megan, do you have any idea? Mural versus sign sponsor.
I think it's a really close distinction. I don't have a good answer. They have different policies. One is, I believe that the mural is an original art form, and a sign is more connected to a business or institution. But I would have to follow up on that, Counselor.
Other questions or concerns?
Question, Chair. Following up on what's been discussed as far as the advertising, are these indicated businesses, are they contributing towards the sign itself, or they have a history of participating in the charter school as far as?
I think that's a question for the applicant team. I don't know the answer to that, Commissioner.
I have a question.
Okay, so the sponsor.
Want to come up to the podium?
Oh, man. Get your name and address. Oh, Kelsey Bedortha, 32115 Coburn Bottom Loop Road. So the bottom part in question is our sponsorship, and the businesses that are on there help support our school annually, because as you know, or may not know, the charter school runs at a huge deficit every year. So to keep our school running, we're thanking them on our sign more than promoting their businesses. So they will change annually depending on who sponsors the school. But they're not directly funding the sign per se.
Was there a question from the internet?
Yes, thank you, Chair. My question is, was there any correspondence from neighbors opposed to the sign or concerns about it?
There was not. No comments were received.
Thank you.
Megan, you indicated that we don't regulate content. That's part of it.
That's correct. That's related to the First Amendment.
Are there any questions or concerns before we entertain a motion? All right. We will at this point end the public testimony section of the hearing. And any additional questions? I would be happy to hear a motion of some kind at this point. Did.
Could you put back up on the screen with the motion?
I don't have a suggested motion. But I think that simple language just to approve the conditional sign permit application would do.
Before we get there, if you don't mind, I do have a couple of questions regarding the conditional sign. Can that be changed or revoked over time?
Yes.
have to be, does the rep have to be updated or have to, if they want to change the sign, then they have to come back and reapply?
Yes, this approval would be for what is being proposed here tonight. There are the ability for the planning commission to revoke the permit under certain instances that are outlined in the ordinance, such as if the sign is not installed within 1 year. I believe there are a couple other triggers for that revocation.
Good, thank you. Okay, I'll make the motion. I move that we approve the applicant's request based upon staff report and the findings within the report.
I second.
There's been a second for the motion. Any concerns, discussion? Let's go ahead and have a vote then on the motion to accept. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All those in opposition say nay. All those who abstain say abstain. The motion carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
At this point, we're moving into the update and agenda items from staff.
Yes, so a couple infrastructure updates. The Public Works Operations Building is nearing completion out at the wastewater treatment plant. That will be completed sometime in October, and we anticipate there will be an open house. The street improvements on North Willamette Street, Harrison, and Macy. I believe paving begins this Friday, and that project is slated to be complete the first week of October. There has been some communication with the United States Postal Service by former council president Mike Watson. So I think that there finally is some traction looking into the delivery problems that so many residents have struggled with over a number of years. And on a very exciting note, our rare member, the city got a RARE member, which stands for Resource Assistance for Rural Environments. It's an AmeriCorps program administered through the University of Oregon. The Department of Environmental Quality is sponsoring a handful of RAREs to implement water quality work in small organizations that don't have capacity. And so we welcomed our RARE member on Monday, was his first day. And so you will have a chance to meet him as he continues his 11 months of service here in Coburg. That's about all I have. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them as best I can.
Has there been any movement on Elkhorn's revised approval as far as?
Nothing was submitted, and that expiration date was September 10th. So there is no longer an active land use approval for that.
They would have to start from the beginning.
Yes.
Any other questions, discussion? If, go for it. Yeah, go, John.
No.
All right. Then in that case, I'll adjourn tonight's meeting of the Planning Commission. Thank you, everybody, for being here and helping out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
6:20.